All right, everybody. Hey, what's up? Welcome to your reading for the full moon in Virgo, happening on the 18th of March in the Northern Hemisphere and the 19th of March in the Southern Hemisphere. Virgo, as many of you may know or be plastered with memes about on social media, is the stewardess of health and precision and accuracy and sometimes annoying detail. But this full moon is really about a cleansing and a clearing and a reset into a higher vibration and a better track and a better trajectory for your life. And now this has to come as a choice. You must choose to do this. But this moon really feels like a new moon more so than a full moon, because there's this opportunity to reevaluate what's working for you and what's not, and to make a different choice. And a lot of those changes that you're really desiring and the results that you want to see in your life come from either eliminating things that aren't working for you, whether it's like a diet or whether it's relationships, really listening to your gut and your body. Do I really want to do this? And saying no to that, as well as reminding yourself of the power that you hold and being really conscious, especially in times like this. There's a lot of fear that's being pumped out into the world. And, we forget that the energy of peace is so much more powerful than the energy of fear. And the energy of love is so much more powerful than the energy of fear. But we're so quick to give our power away. That's something that I'm really guilty of. I am a Virgo myself, and it's really easy for me to want to heal and want to help and want to uplift. And so I give that power to other people before making sure that I'm really as high as I could be and as elevated as I could be, so that I can help with ease and with joy. And so be conscious of what's working for you in your health world and what's not working for you, without judgment, to the best of your ability. And also reclaim that power. Remind yourself that of the lion heart and of the tiger heart, and remind yourself of the fact that that power can't be taken from you, but you have to give permission to have it taken. English. You have to give permission for it to be given away. And so we're going to dive into the reading with that sort of preamble present. But this is a time in the world, we're living through formidable times and incredible times. And so giving yourself compassion is incredibly important. But Virgo is quite precise and can be quite a bit, like, people can find Virgos a bit prickly, because we're quite direct and we're quite it's just very straightforward for us for what needs to be done in order to improve and in order to live your best life and be your best self. And so yes, having compassion for yourself is so important, but you also have to do some reclamation and reclaim some of that power. Don't sink into the victim mindset. Don't sink into the fact that, oh, this and this is happening to me, or this and this person is treating me this way. Are you giving your power away? That's something that might be helpful to put in your back pocket as we move into this full moon. And in the Aries equinox coming up soon enough, which is going to be quite a large event energetically. That's happening on the 21st of March. Okay. Interesting. So this is coming up as a work-related card. And when I say work, I mean the energy that you put in to give yourself the livelihood that you want. So you could be a stay-at-home parent. You could be an office worker. You could be a remote worker. You could be an artist. It doesn't matter. Whatever you do, where you're putting your energy out into the world in order to receive back. The time has come to make the decision of whether you are staying in your situation because you're afraid of the unknown, or whether you are ready, and you know, you're never really ready. Like that's never a feeling that happens before you take a leap, but is it time for you to take the jump? And you know, it's feeling like it is time for you to take the jump into that realm of what's actually going to serve you day to day. You know, if you hit 70 years old, 80 years old, and you've worked in this career that doesn't really serve you, are you going to feel fulfilled? Are you going to feel like your time on this planet was well spent? And is it worth staying in a career because it gives you this false blanket of security? You know, anything could happen at any moment. Your company could fold, a new boss could get hired, and you could get let go. It doesn't matter. Like, that security is false. And so, are you staying in a situation or in a job or in a career because you feel like you've put money into it, or time or schooling or whatever, even though it's not feeding you? You know, the time really has come for you to take the leap and to evolve into something that is going to feed you more deeply and more successfully on your soul path and in your soul contract. You know, spirit doesn't want you to live a life of a feeling of like quarter fulfillment or like a half tank of fulfillment. You're meant to feel joy and a sense of filling up, and a sense of filling up your cup when you contribute your energy into the world. And so give yourself that space to actually entertain that idea and to make those decisions. Because if you don't choose to make the decision, the window will pass you. And, you know, the universe isn't finite. Like, things will always come back around, especially if they're really meant for you. But this is an actual very perfect opportunity for you to take that leap and to make that transition. And if you choose to let fear be the reason that you don't do it, you're going to feel that weight moving into the spring and the summer months, and you're going to feel that sort of like dragging along your coattails. And so trust yourself. You know, I know that feels hard to say or hard to sort of embody, but can you trust yourself, and can you take this leap and make this transition, even if this just means advocating for your needs at work? You know, people need you, and your energy is needed. And so in order for you to be able to help the world, you also need to be helping yourself. Very Virgo style reading today. Okay, this is feeling more like love and relationships. Alrighty. Interesting. Okay, so we got our mountain card here, but we got it in reverse. And this is gonna be hard, hard for some of you to hear. It's also a little bit hard for myself to hear. Whatever this sort of romantic engagement you have, or it could be an argument. You know, if you're in a partnership, this could be an argument of something, about something, or it could be somebody that you're pursuing. It could be somewhere you're going in your mind about a romantic engagement. You know, like, the mind is really where we get our most lost. So whatever romantic event that comes up for you when we're speaking about this card, you must move. You must make a change. You must walk away. You must change your trajectory. Whatever it is, there must be a change. You know, the mountain card, facing forward, is all about standing your ground. And when it's in reverse, it's really about being more like an iceberg and being able to allow yourself to recognize that there may be much more going on beneath the surface. And it doesn't mean that you have to sever anything. You know, we have this idea that walking away means severing everything and sort of like cutting everything off and ripping things out by the roots. And that's really not what I mean by this card. I'm more expressing that as an iceberg in this situation, you must allow yourself to move with the current and allow yourself to move with the organic energy that's pulling you, and not allow yourself to get totally lost in the concept that this is a mountain when it's really something that is meant to be moving. And so there can be so much going on underneath the surface. And it's important for yourself to validate all of that. That's all real. All those feelings are real. All those events are real. But right now, what will serve you the best is focusing on something elsewhere other than this romantic engagement or outside of this romantic engagement. If you're in a partnership, focusing on your hobbies or focusing on your work or focusing on your family or doing something else that isn't so focused on this romantic entanglement, because right now the energies aren't focused there either. And so if you're trying to put all of your personal energy into this small bucket, it's going to be wasted and it's going to fall on deaf ears. So can you take care of yourself? Can you focus on the things that make you happy? Can you pick up your hobby again? Can you go for more walks? Do whatever you can to remove yourself from this intense focus on this romantic engagement and to focus elsewhere, to allow this iceberg to change and shift and melt and have pieces fall off that it needs to, because more will be revealed down the road. I really don't mean that this is about throwing something in the trash. It's more about shifting your focus for the time being so that you're not wasting your precious energy. It's really, really important. It's really feeling important that, with everything that's going on with the Ukraine and with everything that's going on socially and politically and on the ground, that we do our best to find little things that bring us joy. And if you think of us, I don't know how many of you have seen Monsters Inc., hopefully lots, but they had this concept that, fear would fill this tank of energy and it would be how they use their energy in their world. And they've realized that laughter filled those tanks a lot more effectively. And if you think of us as the same sort of energy tanks, we are so much more powerful and we're so much more effective. And our spectrum is so much wider and so much stronger when we're emitting that energy of love and when we're emitting that energy of joy and non-attachment, instead of that energy of fear and that energy of sort of the lower vibrations of like fear or anger or disappointment or holding on to blame or sort of like on the ground combative type behaviors. I know it's so easy to fall into that right now, and there's so much dialogue out there that is valid about the intensity of things that are going on, but the trees don't stop the trees don't stop being beautiful, flowers don't stop growing because there's intensity on the planet. It's so important for us to keep feeding ourselves with truth of love, with truth of joy, with truth of possibility. You are not in a box, you are not under a glass ceiling. You have all of these limitless opportunities above you, but you have to remember to look up and to look outwards to the things that could go right. So shifting that energy, if you don't want to do anything for your health this full moon, shifting that energy, shifting that focus towards what is going right, what is positive, and if you have a hard time really feeling those truths within you, make a list. Just write a little list down of the things that are going right, even if it's as simple as, I make a kick-ass coffee in the morning. Give yourself something concrete to allow yourself to feel a little bit more supported in the fact that the world is inherently a good place or a loving place. And, we know sort of from Buddhism that things aren't inherently good or bad, but it is our perspective that gives them that quality. And so giving yourself that gift of positivity is going to improve your life. It's going to make your life easier. Okay. Interesting. Okie dokie. So this focus, let's see here. There we go. So this is our card for family and relationships. Mostly family and friendships is really what's coming through. It came in reverse, which is a huge trip to look at visually. I don't know about you, but what this card is coming through as is if you have a difficult friendship, or if you have a difficult relationship, maybe with a sibling or a parent, a cousin, anything really, somebody that you're in relational sort of like habitude with, the message that's coming through with this card is, you know, you may think that you really have this structure with this person. You may think that you really have this, you know, we grew up together, we have this history, we have this home life, whatever. We have all these things that define how our relationship is. But what this full moon in Virgo is giving you the opportunity to do is to essentially move house in that relationship. And so imagine yourself picking up all the baggage or packing up all the baggage that you have in that relationship, and you're about to move to a new location and meet that person there. And you're being given this opportunity with this full moon to take some of those boxes with you, but you're also being given the opportunity to leave some of those boxes behind. And so this is a really wonderful sort of like window of faith opening up for you, that if you have a friendship, a relationship, or sort of like a relationship with someone in your family that you feel hasn't really been able to change or never will change, there is a small sliver of a window that is opening that will allow you to actually feel like you're starting completely fresh. That's going to take an open mind. It's also going to take some active listening, which is really challenging for most of the population, myself included. And it's going to take a sort of suspension of your doubt. You know, let your doubt sort of hang around on the threshold of that old home, and go in with curiosity and go in with sort of like a blank idea, as if you're kind of meeting this person for the first time. And really allowing yourself to sink into that image of packing up all that baggage and then deciding that you can leave it behind if you really want to. And if you don't want to, then you don't have to, and you can continue to carry that, but you can also continue to keep that relationship the way that it is. But for this full moon in Virgo, that opportunity is coming to you. It's quite uncommon. I don't think I've ever really pulled the home card like this in reverse. And so this is sort of like it's like a bit of a wormhole that doesn't happen all that often. So that is all I have for y'all today. If you would like to book a personal reading, I do them on video as well as recorded. I will leave a link below in the description box, especially for my lovely YouTube subscribers. It's most direct to message me on Instagram at indigoinstinct.healing. If you're on Instagram, just shoot me a DM, but I'll also leave my email in the description box. If you'd like to donate through PayPal and help me to continue to do these readings more often, I would really like to get into sound healing and to do more meditations. I haven't recorded a meditation in a while on YouTube. This is the kind of thing I would like to be doing much more often, and these are the kind of offerings that I would like to be doing for a larger audience and for more of you more frequently, and to have them continue to be free pretty much forever. And so all of your support, or any of your support, is really appreciated in that way. And I will leave a link below for that as well. If you're new to YouTube, like, share, please subscribe, pass it along to a friend if it resonated. And if you're on Instagram, please drop a heart, save it. That helps me get recognized in the algorithm, as well as putting it in your story. It would be super, super helpful. So many thanks to all of you. I'm super grateful for you all to listen. You don't have to watch this video on the screen. You can just put it on and listen to it. And I hope you have a wonderful full moon in Virgo and you are feeling refreshed at the end of it. Take care and blessings. Look at you, little bead.